So in part two, I'm now going to attempt to fix the crumbling wiring that's coming off these motor windings. Unfortunately, it started to crack very close to the winding itself. I don't really fancy trying to unpick the windings to get at the join onto the magnet wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just trim it off as short as I can and then solder on some new multi-core. This isn't anything special, it's just 13 amp cable that I've stripped out of its sheath already. And then I'll get some heat shrink and I'll put that up as close as I can. I think the wrong size, but you get the idea. So that'll protect what's left of the wire coming out of the windings. So I'm just heating up some flux on the stripped end, so hopefully it will clean off the steel wire that's there. Leaving a section of steel wire isn't really ideal, but as I say, I'm not really wanting to disturb this winding to get at the end of it. So I'm just hoping this will be okay. Just going to tidy up the backside like that. Now I'm just going to repeat for the other 4 wires. And while I remember, I'll transfer the flags over as well. I didn't bother filming all 4 of those because once you've done one it's pretty much the same, but they're all soldered on. There's a good amount of solder in there, and I've also cleaned the remaining flux off the wires with a bit of brake and clutch cleaner. So all that's left to do now for these is put the heat shrink up over the joint and then crimp some ring terminals over the ends. So let's do that now. I've put some longer heat shrink on to protect the ends of the existing cable that was coming off the ends of each of these windings, because they're probably likely to crack as well in the next few years, so this is just a bit of forward thinking. Right, so that's done. We can feed it back through the hole in the bottom of the casting there and get these crimped up. Those lengths of heat shrink should also help against any vibration damage, because this is not a grommeted hole, so if it does want to vibrate, it may chafe through those remaining wires there, so the heat shrink also just helps protect them. So unfortunately I don't have quite the right size ring terminals to fit onto this switch. The screw will go through, but there's some room, and unfortunately they are just too big of a diameter to go in nicely in under that wire clamp. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to dispense with the clamp and just use a large washer to clamp the ring terminals onto that terminal post there. So let's do that. And yes, I know these aren't the best crimping pliers for this application, but it's all I've got. That's good. So that's all 4 of those done. They're all terminated properly now, and I've even created a little short link wire to go from the capacitor back to the switch. So electrically we are ready, and the next step will be preparing it now for paint. So we need to strip the plaque off the front here, and so we can polish that up and get any paint back on it. There's also the on-off plaque on the front here that needs to come off. It's unfortunate. This is just a decal, so it's not really that important. That can come off, and yeah. I might try and find the replacement foil stickers, decals that was on here. I'm not sure what they said because it's mostly rubbed off. This one says it's something ball bearings, which is true. It did have ball bearings, but these are very crunchy now, so I've ordered some new ones, and they should be arriving soon. But yeah, I think we are getting there. I probably won't make a video on stripping all the paint off. It's pretty much going to be a case of using a wire brush in an angle grinder and just taking it all back to bare aluminium, and then hitting it with some etch primer and then paint of choice. I might go with the same sort of green if I can get a good match, or if not I'll go with the same grey, the light grey colour that my mill is painted in. Yeah, let's try and get these plaques off then. This rivet's sticking slightly proud, so I might just try and get that out with a pair of side cutters. Yeah. And the other 3 look like they're very well recessed, so I'm just going to try with a small screwdriver, just prying behind the plaque and see if it'll come up. I don't want to bend the plaque. There we go, that's the second one. I'm just going to spin this round. Yeah, fortunately these aren't riveted in very tightly, so I am able to pry them out. If these were any tighter, I'd probably resort to drilling them out. There we go. Here we are, one clean plaque. Right, this looks to be done in the same way. The rivets haven't gone all the way through, but let's try getting it off. And there we go. It doesn't look too bad. We might be able to recover that still. See, some of the red paint has come off, but yeah, we'll see how we go. And I might keep these rivets. I don't have anything similar. I only have, the closest thing I have is a small brass or copper pop rivet or blind rivet. So I might see if I can reuse these. If not, we'll have to come up with something different. And there we go. So that's all the preemptive work I can do now. I'm going to go away and hit all this with a wire wheel and clean it all up. Let's see. There's some nice amount of crud in there. Yeah. Should come off. I don't think I need to make a trip to the sandblasters this time, so check in next time and we should be ready for paint.